Now at 5, Joplin police arrest a murder suspect after an hours-long standoff.
President Biden speaks to Ukraine's president about Russia's troop buildup near the border. I'm Natalie Brand with President Biden's plan for next steps, plus an expert's take on the situation.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police arrest a murder suspect from Illinois after a 10-hour standoff. This is KOAM News at 5. Joplin police say around 1 a.m. an officer spotted the suspect, Christopher Eccles, and tried to stop him, but Eccles ran off to a house on South Connor. Police arrested him around 11 a.m. Eccles is wanted for murder in Vermilion County, Illinois. Following a fire last week at the former Holiday Inn in Joplin, we're asking what the future holds for that abandoned building. According to city documents, the vacant hotel has been on the city's radar since 2018. In the time it's been empty, there have been fires, break-ins, and thefts from the property. It's changed hands since 2020 with a new developer promising progress on the facility. The building has been on the Building Board of Appeals agenda 18 times, facing a demolition hearing. Each time it's continued with a promise of progress to be made at the site.
Right now is probably the most progress we have seen with that building than we have in a long time. An investment group has taken it over not that long ago, and we have a couple of name brand hotels that are currently looking at it. But anytime you have a vacant building, it's a liability not only to the city but the people in that area.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more from Bolander on what the future may hold for the property. The Joplin Regional Airport has completed some improvements. Over the summer, one of the airport's runways was rebuilt and runway lights were replaced. In total, the project cost $14.5 million. The city paid $600,000, with the other $13.9 million coming from a federal CARES Act grant. Officials say the improvements will boost the local economy. After our rededication ceremony, guests were able to taxi out to that runway. Doug Heddy joins us. Nice day today.
Yeah, fantastic day. We've been warming up a bit over the past couple days. We had quite a bit of sunshine across the region, a few mid and upper level clouds, but in general, pretty good day. Not too much is going on for us right now. We are going to actually continue to warm up as we go into Friday. Next storm system building out to our west, finally some snow out across the central parts of the Rockies. Temperatures are sitting low to mid 60s, so we were significantly warmer today compared to what we've seen over the past couple days. Southerly winds kind of helping those temperatures warm up. South winds at about 10 to 20 throughout the daytime hours. They're going to diminish a little bit for us during the evening hours. We'll slide back near 50. We'll bottom out, then we'll start to climb toward dawn as we warm up even more for us tomorrow. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Thanks, Doug. President Biden, Vice President Harris, and congressional leaders gathered today to pay tribute to the life and legacy of the late Senator Bob Dole. The casket bearing the 98-year-old who died over the weekend lies in state at the U.S. Capitol until 7 tonight. Dole's funeral will take place tomorrow at the Washington National Cathedral ahead of a final farewell service Saturday in his home state of Kansas. President Biden held a series of calls this afternoon in an attempt to assure allies that the U.S. stands ready to take action if Russia invades Ukraine. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
President Biden's phone call to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky comes 2 days after warning President Putin of consequences if Russia invades his country.
President Biden is also intending to discuss his deep concerns with Russia's buildup on Ukraine's borders and his commitment to respond with strong measures in the event of a Russian military escalation.
There are new reports Russia has increased its troop presence to more than 100,000 soldiers now stationed along the Ukraine border.
We continue to consult with allies and partners about what we're seeing.
The U.S. has been sending defense support to the Ukrainian military, with small arms and ammunition arriving this week. But President Biden says he will not send U.S. forces.
The idea the United States is going to unilaterally use force to confront Russia invading Ukraine is not in the cards right now.
The president, in concert with European allies, has made clear they're coordinating a potential response.
I think the message that the United States, and I think many capitalists in Europe want to send, is that there's a united front.
President Biden followed up his call with Zelensky by talking to the leaders of 9 Eastern European countries which joined NATO following the fall of the Soviet Union.
The Biden administration has made its entire policy that they are willing to either escalate or de-escalate towards diplomacy, depending on what Russia does. And that's the situation that we are stuck in right now.
Experts and the administration agree Russia's ultimate intentions remain unclear. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
Analysts say the Bucharest 9 members want assurances from the White House that the U.S. will not unilaterally block Ukraine from joining NATO. Russia has steadfastly opposed having a neighboring country joining NATO, which was formed to combat Russian aggression. The U.S. Army is now awarding additional Purple Hearts to soldiers injured in Iraq by an Iranian missile attack in January of 2020. The attack was launched in response to the U.S. killing powerful Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. A CBS News investigation found only 23 soldiers received a Purple Heart, which is given to soldiers injured by enemy action, though dozens more appeared to qualify. Now the Army has approved an additional 39 awards and is considering more. New Zealand is planning a lifetime smoking ban for anyone born after 2008. A new law will make it illegal for anyone now 14 or younger to ever buy a cigarette, even if as they get older. The minimum age to purchase cigarettes will just keep rising year after year. The new law is expected to take effect next year. And while smoking will be banned for future generations, New Zealand's government will still allow vaping. Still ahead, the possible dangers of decorations.
Holiday decorations look festive, but safety experts say they can lead to fires. I'm Andrea Klein-Thomas with tips on how to keep your home and family safe.
And next in Health Watch, the FDA authorizes COVID-19 vaccine booster shots for 16 and 17-year-olds.
Arby's, 2 for $6.
Topping today's Health Watch, the FDA has authorized vaccine boosters for older teens. President Biden also held a meeting today with his COVID response team. Bradley Blackburn reports from New York, where cases of the Omicron variant are on the rise.
The FDA has expanded eligibility for Pfizer's COVID booster shot to 16 and 17-year-olds.
Unless we really double down on what we're doing, we could see an increased spike that goes even higher than that as we get deeper into December and January.
Only 26% of eligible Americans have gotten the booster so far. Just over 24% of those who can get the vaccine haven't gotten a single dose. President Biden held a meeting with his COVID-19 response team to talk about how to handle the new Omicron variant spreading around the country.
Here in New York, the governor announced 6 more cases of the Omicron variant, bringing the total to 20 in the state.
However, we expect these numbers to continue to rise. And at this point, we are prepared to say what we have is community spread. It is not coming from people who have traveled. It is being spread in the communities.
The Delta variant is still dominant in the U.S. 4 states, Maine, Michigan, New Hampshire, and Vermont, are currently seeing record hospitalizations. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The booster shot is now approved for 4 million more teens. Sunshine may help protect kids and young adults from multiple sclerosis. A new international study found participants who spent an average of 30 minutes to 1 hour outdoors daily had a 52% lower risk of developing MS. Researchers say sunshine can stimulate immune cells that ward off some diseases. Blood from marathon runners may one day be used to help those who exercise less. In tests with mice, researchers found blood from extremely active mice improved cognitive performance in sedentary mice of the same age. The discovery could help develop treatments for people with neurodegenerative disease. Researchers in Australia have developed a real-time sensor that can monitor exposure to nicotine. They say the device can help e-cigarette users who want some nicotine but not too much. It can also be a tool for people concerned about exposure to secondhand smoke. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the latest unemployment claims report shows a 52-year low.
Plus, our temperatures warm up even more as we work into Friday. We're going to check that out coming up.
Hey, what's all the excitement?
The arts.
Well, it turned out to be a great Thursday for us today, warming up over what we have seen over the past couple days. It was pretty cold Monday, Tuesday, not bad yesterday, and then into the 60s for highs for us today, which we'll definitely take. We're still sitting into lower 60s right now. Nevada sitting at 61, 62 in Neosho, 63, Miami, Pittsburgh at 62, Neodesha at about 63 degrees. Southerly winds helping our temps warm up for us today. We have a weak little front that is kind of sliding in. It's going to stall out and then lift back toward the north for us tomorrow. So the winds are going to diminish a little bit as we go through the evening hours, and then they're going to pick right back up as we go into tomorrow. Nice shot, sun setting, pretty much clear skies. Right now, the evening daylight hours continue to shrink up for just a few more days. 61 southerly winds at 5 to 10. Humidity is at about 58%. Through the evening hours, we'll slide back to about 50 by midnight, and then we're actually going to start to rise. I think by the time you get up in the morning, we'll be 55 to about 56 degrees. So starting to warm things up early in the morning hours. Clear skies. Nothing going on here. We have some clouds just to our north, but our developing storm system out to the west. This is finally a change. Out across the Central Rockies, they've had very little snow for the ski results. So several feet in the higher elevations of the mountains, but most of this snow is going to track across the northern plains. It is going to drag a very strong cold front through, but we aren't going to get much in the way of moisture. But you can see this system digging deep across the southwestern parts of the U.S. So let's go ahead through time for us tonight. We'll drop back near 50. Watch our temperatures rise toward dawn into the mid to upper 50s by 6 in the morning. A lot of clouds, mostly cloudy skies. I do think we'll get some light showers in here late morning into the early afternoon. These will pass on by, and then we warm into the 70s by the time we head into the afternoon. 56 in the morning, 70 by noon, high temp right around 74. South winds at about 10 to 15, but gusts higher than that. As we go into tomorrow evening, look at this strong cold front. You can see the sharp contrast. Here's about 10 p.m. So we'll hold into the 50s prior to the front, and then we'll start to drop as we go into Saturday morning. We'll be down into low to mid 30s. Saturday, quite a bit cooler. High temps probably only right around 50 during the afternoon, but by Sunday morning, we start to get southerly winds back, and that will help our temperature start the warming process once again. So Sunday, not bad, into the upper 50s. And then by Monday into Tuesday, we go right back into the 60s for highs, and then we get another fairly strong storm system by Wednesday, giving us chances for showers and thunderstorms working into the area. No snow over the next week. 74 tomorrow, 50 on Saturday, 56 on Sunday, back to 63 Monday, 70, 71 on Wednesday. Those chances for rain then cooling right back down late next week. So for snow, we usually average our first snow by this time of the year, and we have not had it. So it's a little late, but right around the corner.
Around the corner.
Yeah.
We'll see how far that corner is. Thanks, Doug. Coming up, some safety tips for holiday decorating. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Larry Hickey served in the U.S. Navy from 1943 to 1946. Coffeyville, Kansas native was stationed in Japan, and we salute Lieutenant Junior Grade Larry Hickey, a four-state hero. You know, you can learn about lots of other heroes, thousands of them from all across this area. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. It's very simple. You just click on the link on our website. It's KOAMnewsnow.com.
Doug Hetty has a station.
Topping today's Consumer Watch, the number of Americans signing up for unemployment benefits now stands at the lowest level in more than 52 years. The Labor Department says first-time filings for weekly jobless claims fell by 43,000 last week to 184,000. That number was better than expected. The 4-week moving average, which is considered a less volatile measure because it smooths out week-to-week fluctuations, also fell. Bigger raises are on deck for 2022. According to the Conference Board, base pay is expected to increase by an average of nearly 4% next year. Almost half of employers cited the need to raise wages to attract workers within a tight labor market, and 39% of employers cited inflation as the reason for the boost in pay. This time of year, families all across the country decorate their homes with Christmas trees, holiday lights, and festive candles, of course, but some of those decorations can also lead to a disaster. Reporter Andrea Klein-Thomas explains.
These two Christmas trees look similar, but there's one important difference. The one on the left has been watered regularly. In a safety demonstration, officials set it on fire, and after 30 seconds, it smolders out. The tree on the right hasn't been watered and is dry. The flames spread quickly. In 10 seconds, the ceiling catches fire, and soon the entire room is engulfed in flames. Experts say it's important to buy a new tree that's not already dry.
Bounce it on the ground, see if it has any needle drop. If it has a lot of needle drop, don't buy it.
A dry Christmas tree can go up in seconds. So it's so important, again, to keep that fresh tree watered, and you want to do that by watering it daily.
Nikki Fleming from the Consumer Product Safety Commission says trees need to be kept away from space heaters and anything flammable.
Putting up those decorations can also be dangerous. There are about 160 decorating-related injuries every day during the holiday season. Most of them happen when people fall off of the ladder.
That's what happened to Ken Wilson. The Tennessee homeowner recently fell 11 feet onto the concrete while putting up Christmas lights.
When I did fall, I guess I laid there for unconscious for a couple of minutes. I've got 6 fractured ribs.
You're getting up on that roof or placing decorations in different parts of the home. Make sure you have someone to assist you, to support you on that ladder.
Misplaced candles are also a safety risk. It's important to keep them away from curtains or anything else flammable. Experts say taking a few simple steps can help prevent a tragedy this holiday season. Andrea Klein-Thomas, CBS News, New York.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission says in 2019, nearly 15,000 people went to the emergency room because of holiday decorating related injuries. The families of nearly 61 million children could get their last child tax credit payment this month if Congress doesn't act soon. President Biden's Build Back Better agenda, which passed in the House, includes a one-year extension of the monthly payments, but the legislation faces an uphill battle in the Senate. The IRS has told some lawmakers the bill needs to pass in 19 days in order for the payments to continue in January. The federal government plans to cut its carbon emissions by 65% by the end of the decade. President Biden's executive orders signed yesterday also sets the goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2050. The White House plans to spend billions on a fleet of electric vehicles and upgrade federal buildings with clean energy. Final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look inside FedEx's holiday shipping operation. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on the plans for the former Holiday Inn in Joplin. Plus, Missouri's Attorney General warns school districts and health departments against enforcing mask mandates. And a federal jury reaches a verdict in the child pornography case of former reality TV star Josh Duggar. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. All right, Google has released its year-end search list for 2021. Now, in 2020, coronavirus predictably topped the trending list globally and dominated much of the U.S. list. This year, the top trending global searches focused on sports, with sports searches making up 8 of the top 10. World Cup cricket matches ruled the list. The NBA ranked number 4 globally, topped the U.S. list. The late rapper DMX and the Korean Netflix show Squid Game also made the global and U.S. lists. In the U.S., politics and finance also made the top 10. One of my most Googled words, not only this past year, but every year, is Chiefs.
Yeah, every day. Latest Chiefs news.
Looking for updates. Mahomes would also be on that list. The weather looking nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. We're going to drop back near 50 tonight, but actually rise after midnight. 74 tomorrow. We are going to get a few showers late morning into the early afternoon. It's going to be windy. Turning quite a bit cooler for the weekend, but the weekend looks nice overall.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.